This is gonna change our lives forever.
Nothing to do with the job.
How much money do YouTubers really make? It's an important question because, according to a recent study, becoming a YouTuber is now considered one of the most desirable jobs in the world. And yet, some articles will tell you almost nobody is even making a living from YouTube. But then on the other side, some people talk about normal people becoming millionaires from their videos. So, what's the truth? How rich can you get from YouTube?
Okay, so what's up guys? So as you can all see, I have a video for you that's on the screen. As you can see, that's the video playing, and I was doing research about how you'll be able to make money on YouTube, and I came across that video. Okay, and there's a lot on the way coming, so I encourage all of you to stick to the video, watch the video to the end, and I think this video is going to help you to know much about YouTube, how YouTube pay, and how you can make money on YouTube. And if you have any question, you can drop it on the comment section, and I'll catch you at the end of this video to explain some things to you. And if you're ready to make money on YouTube, you like YouTubing, you want to make a lot of money from YouTuber, click on the link in the description box below to take you to my WhatsApp group where I monetize people YouTube channels for them. So in case that you want to know much about YouTube, you want to know how YouTube works, how I make a lot of money from YouTube and all those things, and it's a challenge that starts. So this is the end of the challenge, this is the final video. So I encourage all of you up there to watch the video to the end and to explain everything into details. Okay, it's a video that I'll find online and I think it will help you. That's why I posted it on my channel. So I will leave you all to watch the video to the end, and if you have any questions, just drop in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon below to be notified that I drop more videos. And also that, don't forget to give me a thumbs up when you think that this video have helped you a lot and you have learned a lot from this video. So with that much I say, with that much I do that. See you on the video. And
in this video, we're answering how YouTube ad revenue works, how much money you can make from YouTube, and all the other ways some YouTubers profit from their channel, including some monetization tricks you may want to use yourself. For example, I'll be explaining how a video with less than 1,000 views made me over $500, and yet a video with 10,000 views made considerably less. So, let's delve into the truth about making money on YouTube.
Now, in terms of how much ad revenue all of that earned in 2020, the main channel here earned a whopping $2,082,858.68.
I think I'm about $30,000 in credit card debt right now.
No.
Yeah.
Both of these two great YouTubers have fairly similar audience sizes, with several million subscribers. So, how can they be in such different financial positions? One a multi-millionaire, one in credit card debt. And of course, it's not just these two. There is a divide all across YouTube, where some creators seem to have incredibly glamorous, luxurious lifestyles, whilst others talk about struggling to even pay their bills. Now, their spending habits are obviously a factor in that too, but the truth is that when it comes to making money from YouTube ad revenue, views are not paid equally. Some creators get paid far more for the exact same amount of views. You see, YouTube don't set a price for ads. They don't say, you'll get X dollars for X views. Instead, every time an ad is displayed on a video, advertisers bid how much they're willing to pay to be in front of that content. Which means that for certain types of videos, advertisers will pay much, much more. Let's go back to our example of Graham Stephan and Laugh. The reason Graham's ad revenue is considerably higher is because he talks about finance and investing, topics which advertisers are willing to pay much more to be in front of. That's typically because if you're selling something finance related, you often have higher profit margins, and you also know that anyone watching a finance video is very likely to be interested in what you're selling. Whereas Laugh's channel was pranks and now vlogs. To advertisers, those aren't the types of videos that they want to pay a lot to be in front of. They don't fully know who's going to be watching those type of videos, and they don't really relate very well to any particular products or services. So, when it comes to YouTube ad revenue, the riches are in the niches. Certain types of videos are simply much more valuable to advertisers, and so they will earn far more. And if you have your own channel, When you go into Creator Studio, you'll be able to see which of your videos advertisers are paying most for by looking at the CPM. This metric tells you how much advertisers pay for every 1,000 monetized views of that video. So, hypothetically, a comedy sketch may have a $2 CPM. A video about insurance could have a $40 CPM, which means that for every 1,000 views, the insurance video is getting 20 times more money. After 1 million monetized views on both videos, one would have about $2,000 and the other would have $40,000. And whilst that may seem a little unfair, it does make sense. Because you can imagine an insurance company would be willing to throw big money to be in front of a video that's about insurance. Whereas not many companies are going to throw big money to be in front of a comedy sketch. However, if you are in a niche with a typically low CPM, remember that every video is ranked individually. So if you were making a comedy sketch, if it was a comedy sketch about making money, finance, investing, real estate, business, lawyers, or anything else that advertisers would likely pay more for, you can still get a high CPM. Because YouTube is looking at the words you say within your video and your title and tags. For example, if we go back to Laugh, he said that one of his most profitable videos of all was when he interviewed a day trader. Now, he has interviews with far more views, but because day trading and investing are keywords with such high CPMs, he made considerably more money from that video. So if you really wanted to, you could deliberately make content around topics that are known to be more profitable. This meme perhaps sums it up best.
You are making $500,000 and you were only gonna pay me 30?
You're getting 30 grand? I'm getting 1,000!
You guys are getting paid?
But that's not the full picture. Advertisers don't just pay more for certain topics and keywords. They also pay more depending on who the ad is being shown to. For example, most advertisers will pay considerably more for views from people in first world countries, especially America and the UK, simply because they know people in these countries typically have a higher amount of disposable income to spend on their products and services. After all, it's a bit pointless running an ad for a $500 product in countries where the average citizen could never afford that. In fact, because of the large amount of data Google has on most people, advertisers can target their ads based on a huge amount of different factors, even things like interests and estimated household income. So, the amount a YouTuber earns is not just based on what their video is about, but also who is watching it and how much advertisers are willing to pay to be in front of those types of people. Because advertisers will bid more to be in front of certain demographics and topics, which will drive the CPM up, so the creator earns much more money. And so you can see why a site like Social Blade that tries to estimate YouTuber earnings is never going to be accurate. You can see here, they're guessing the CPM is between 25 cents and $4, which for many channels is incredibly low. And even if it is between that range, there's a big difference between 25 cents and $4 per 1,000 views. So Social Blade can't possibly give you a reliable estimate of ad revenue. But hold up, because this is just the tip of the monetization iceberg. For the richest YouTubers, ad revenue is not how they make most of their money. If you want to make a full-time income from YouTube, ad revenue should never be your main revenue stream. It's too unpredictable, and quite frankly, there are better ways to make more money. Here's what you need to remember. Attention equals money. If you have people's attention, people who are watching your videos and liking your content, then there are countless other ways you can monetize. For example, did you know that one of the richest YouTubers in the world is 9-year-old Ryan Cagey? Some estimate his revenue to be around $30 million a year. But that's not because of ads. It's because he set up other revenue streams through his channel. The beauty is, anyone can do this, even with a very small audience. And let's start with method 1. Affiliate marketing. Even if your channel has 0 subscribers, you can start monetizing right away with affiliate marketing. This is where you partner with businesses who have products or services your audience may like, and you promote them within your video. You'll get a unique affiliate link which you can put in the description, and every time someone buys through your link, you'll get a commission from the sale. You don't have to deal with making the product, shipping it, managing it, customer support, anything. Just make sure it's a great product you think your audience will genuinely like, and then you can promote it and get commission on every future sale made through your link, even months or years later after posting the video. You can find products to promote through affiliate marketplaces like ClickBank, but you can also try reaching out to businesses directly if there's something specific you want to promote. As for how much YouTubers can make with this, it varies wildly. If they're using something like the Amazon affiliates program, it won't be a lot of money, possibly a few $100s at most, because they're getting such a tiny percentage of the sale. But if they're promoting something like a digital course or software, it's likely they may be getting 50% or even more of the sale, because the business doesn't have any costs to make more copies. And so there are affiliate deals I've seen where YouTubers are getting several $100s per sale, sometimes even more. But now let's look at the second way YouTubers monetize their channels, which is sponsorships. This is where instead of getting a percentage of the sale, like affiliate marketing, you get a fixed amount up front to advertise a product or service within your video. Once again though, don't think sponsors are just for the big channels. This channel started getting sponsorship requests not long after 1,000 subscribers. Because it's not just about the number of subscribers, it's about how well the sponsored product matches the audience. Of course, there are some brands that seem to dominate sponsorships all across YouTube that you've no doubt heard many creators promoting. But again, remember, you can reach out to any company directly and try to make sponsorship deals. However, I would strongly recommend only promoting sponsors you actually think are good for your audience, because otherwise it will dilute the value of your recommendations. Whereas if you only work with sponsors you know will be worthwhile for your audience, it will mean it's good for them, better results for the sponsor, and therefore even more money and credibility for you. Everyone wins. But let's talk money. Someone like Mr. Beast will easily be able to negotiate 6-figure sponsorship deals because every video gets so many millions of views. But even at around 10,000 subscribers, you can still be getting sponsors of around $1,000 if you have a highly engaged audience and a sponsor who's a great fit. Don't undersell yourself though, always ask for more money up front so you have room to negotiate. But now let's talk about number 3. Patreon and fan crowdfunding. When you've got fans who like your channel, a lot of them will be willing to donate money to help support you, in return for extra behind the scenes clips or earlier access to your content. YouTube itself does have a built-in channel memberships program now, along with paid super chats on live streams, but most creators seem to go for Patreon instead. But either way, let's do the maths here. If fans gave just $5 a month for access to some extra bonus content, if 1,000 people join, that's $5,000 recurring every month. And so you can see how the big channels with loads of fans can drastically increase their income by offering this kind of thing. But now we need to talk about number 4. Selling a product. Now, when it comes to selling products through your YouTube channel, most YouTubers go the route of selling merchandise. So for huge channels like PewDiePie, this can be very profitable. But when you have a small audience, just throwing your brand name onto some random t-shirt or mug probably isn't going to make a lot of money. I have seen people have some success by running limited edition merch campaigns, but what if you thought about selling a product that was directly useful for your audience? One very profitable option here is to create some form of digital course. Because if your audience enjoy your free YouTube content, it's likely some of them would be happy to pay to learn more from you. This can apply in most niches: fitness, dating, business. If you're sharing knowledge on your channel, there's a very good chance some people would pay for a full system where you can teach things much more in depth. Once you start selling your own product, your revenue can really skyrocket because now you've transitioned from just being a YouTuber to running a YouTube business. On this channel, I use the word magnate a lot, which just refers to someone very wealthy and successful within business. But sometimes I also use the term YouTube magnate, which means someone who combines YouTube and business together. Stick with me here, because this is how you genuinely can become a YouTube millionaire. Stop viewing your YouTube channel as a hobby or a job. Instead, think of it as a business. Because once you introduce all the different revenue streams we just talked about, especially the last one where you sell your own product, or even your own service like coaching, it becomes more than just a YouTube channel. The YouTube videos become free marketing for the products and services that you're selling. And that's where the real big money is. And let's be clear, this definitely doesn't mean your videos should suddenly start feeling like ads, where you're spending half the time just selling people things. But if you look at creators who are making a lot of money, most of that income is not directly from YouTube. It's because they've leveraged the attention their videos are getting. If this is starting to sound a little overwhelming, then bear in mind that the very top channels almost always have a team working with them. They're not doing it all alone. The reason they're able to put out lots of regular, high quality content is because they have a video editor, a thumbnail designer, and so on. Different people to help them run the channel and business so they can scale much faster. Because the more sales you get, the more you can grow your team and invest in making even better content, which in turn brings in even more sales and the cycle repeats so your income keeps growing. So again, I repeat, think of YouTube like a business. Don't rely on ads, have multiple different revenue streams, especially a related product or service you can sell. Then reinvest that money into building a team so you can scale it. Now, you may remember all the way back in the intro of this video, I mentioned a video with less than 1,000 views that made several $100s. And after hearing the rest of this video, that should now make more sense. But let's break it down. Number 1, there was an affiliate link within that video, and every sale through that link earned me $100, and so far it's had 3 sales. But number 2, there was also a link to the sales page for our own digital product, a course called the YouTube Business Blueprint, and we were able to track that one of the sales for that came from this particular video. But then there's also reason number 3, that this video has a very high CPM because of the topic. So if this video does take off and get more views, every 1,000 monetized views would be worth this much. So if it got 100,000 monetized views, it would make this much from ads alone. Now remember, not every single view will be monetized, but hopefully you can see that you don't need millions of views to make a lot of money on YouTube. You just need the right approach. And so this is why some creators can earn so much more than others, even if they get a similar amount of views, because there's so many different ways you can monetize. But if you are interested in building a business with YouTube, like we've talked about, then feel free to grab the first module of our YouTube Business Blueprint for free by clicking the link below. I'm not sure how long left we will be giving this away for free, but if the link is still there when you're watching this, you can get it and you'll learn all about this stuff in much more detail so you can get started yourself. But now,
YouTube is a mountain, and although it's a long way to the top, everyone starts at the same place. Those creators were all once where you are now. And if you can just make it halfway up the mountain, the YouTube algorithm can pretty much carry you to the peak. That can be you unboxing your award. That can be you that people look up to and aspire to. That can be you creating content that millions of people watch and love. The problem is though, even though we all know about the money, the influence, and the lifestyle that YouTube can bring, when you're near the bottom of that mountain, it can be really hard to stay motivated. You're seeing other channels blow up. Some of them aren't even that good, and you're wondering, why not me? I'm putting in the work, I'm putting in the time. Well, bookmark this video, watch it every morning, and you'll never be unmotivated about YouTube again. Here's 6 reasons why. Number 1, every video you create is a digital asset. Unlike other social media platforms where your content is dead within 48 hours, YouTube videos can be evergreen and bring you traffic for potentially years to come. And so, even if your videos don't take off right away, they still can. Look at this example from my channel. Nothing, 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 boom. And just imagine when you have a whole library of old videos. It's like releasing your own personal army of content, which will bring you a continual supply of views, subscribers, and totally automated passive income. But this brings us to another reason to stay motivated. Number 2, you're only one video away.
Is this real life?
Yeah, this is real life.
One video away from a viral hit. One video away from your entire channel blowing up. As ridiculous as that may sound, I know so many channels who've made it big because of one video. And so when you bear that in mind, why would you not pour your heart into every video? Why would you not create as much content as you can? Which leads us to this. Number 3, the money. Let's just remember, there is no limit on the amount of money you can earn with YouTube. Clark here made nearly $18,000 from a single video. One video. When you know that one video can earn you that much, surely you're gonna wanna make more videos. And let's look at Kevin David's stats here. He made over $400,000 last year in YouTube ad revenue. And again, this is just the ad revenue, not even factoring in the countless other ways you can monetize your YouTube influence. I mean, you can call me shallow, but knowing how much money it's possible to earn from creating content, I think that's incredibly motivating. I mean, take a screenshot and pin that to your wall so you can see it every time you're considering skipping a video. Number 4, YouTube's growth is not linear. It's exponential. I'll hand over to an old clip of Mr. Beast for this one.
Yeah, it took me over a year to get my first 1,000 subscribers. Like a year and a half. Took like almost a year to get the second 1,000.
Of course, he now has over 35 million subscribers. But even on a smaller scale, I've seen this myself. It took over a year to get 100,000 views, then the next 50,000 happened in less than 2 months. Your channel is like a snowball, building up momentum. The beginning, the getting started, is always way harder. It could take you a year to go from 0 to 1,000 subs, but then a year to go from 1,000 to 100,000. As long as you keep going and keep building that momentum on your channel like all the big creators you admire have done. Number 5, it's supposed to be hard. This one sounds weird, I know, but to get to the top of anything in life, to reach the apex, it's gonna be a challenge. Not everyone can make a full-time living creating videos. It's an incredibly desirable life that can be a lot of fun, so it has to be difficult to get there. It has to be a real test. View YouTube as a game though, and every day, every video, you're leveling up a little more, improving a bit more, growing a bit more. Remember though, it should be fun. You can make videos on whatever you want, so yes, it's hard, but the journey should be exciting as well. And if it's not, that's normally a sign to change up the type of content you're making. But you've also got to remember number 6, you're already winning. Just by being a creator on the platform, you're already ahead of the vast majority of the world's population who only consume content. Just by having one random stranger you've never met watch a video of yours, that's a victory. We've lost sight of how great those small wins actually are because we see people who've been making videos for many, many years and they're getting millions of views, but even though this may sound a little cheesy, even if you're just impacting one person, that's still pretty cool, right? And of course, you're probably impacting a lot more than one person. Look at your total views and imagine that many people all sat together in a room watching your content. Each one of those people chose to watch your videos. Each subscriber chose your channel out of the millions and millions of options. And sure, keep in mind that end goal, the big crazy numbers we all dream of. But just don't lose sight of how much you've already achieved, as that can definitely motivate you to keep going for all your fans who love what you're doing right now. Just remember, do not give up before you hit the tipping point of YouTube success. You're probably a lot closer than you think. You've got this. And if you want more help to kickstart your YouTube growth, just check out the links in the description of this video and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. There's plenty of tips and tricks I've picked up along the way of my own YouTube journeys. There's 5 words you need to remember. You're only one video away. You see, the YouTube algorithm gives you a fresh chance every single video you post. Literally, all of your videos could be dead with no views, and that next video could change everything.
so many big channels had one video go viral that sparked momentum for all their other videos and changed their life in a matter of days. So why would you give up when you're just one video away? One video away from changing people's lives, one video away from getting the success and recognition you deserve. One video away from making more YouTube ad revenue than you could ever dream of. Speaking of which, don't buy into this starving artist narrative about YouTubers that some people push. Here's Graham Stephan's YouTube ad revenue from just last year. And by the way, ad revenue is one of the smallest income streams from YouTube. There's so many other ways to monetize. I'm not saying these results are typical, but just look at someone like 9-year-old Ryan Cagey, who earned an estimated $30 million from his YouTube channel last year. YouTube can genuinely change your life and allow you to change other people's lives too. But it won't if you give up now.
You know, it took me over a year to get my first 1,000 subscribers, like a year and a half. Took like almost a year to get the second 1,000, and the fact that I just gained 1,000 subscribers in like the last 11 days, and from 4K to 5K only took 12 days, and 3K to 4K only took 19 days. It's awesome, you know. I never thought I'd be growing like this. I really didn't.
The crucial thing that separates those who succeed is that they keep going, they keep improving, they smash through that brick wall and don't give up. It's like a test, and only the persistent will pass. Because the truth is, even if it feels like you've got nowhere so far, you've definitely improved and leveled up from when you started. You might not have the results you wanted, but that work isn't wasted. You've been learning along the way, and even if you have just one subscriber, that's a total stranger who loved your content enough to want more of it, which in a sea of millions of channels is pretty impressive in itself. So don't get distracted by the big numbers from channels who've been doing YouTube way longer than you have. And also don't forget, even if a lot of your videos haven't worked out, it's pretty common that the YouTube algorithm can suddenly start pushing videos from months or even years ago. Just because a video hasn't done well yet doesn't mean it won't. I've seen this with some of my old videos. Nothing, then boom. And you can see this with countless other creators as well. Just look at James Janney, who got 400 subscribers in 5 months, then 250,000 subscribers in the next 2 months. YouTube growth is exponential, not linear. Things can change very rapidly. So keep going, keep learning, and don't forget to thank me when you get your award from YouTube. However, whilst this hopefully got you pumped up to make more videos, if you want to know how James achieved such crazy growth so fast, when YouTube first began, people were just happy to be able to post their videos online for free.
Favorite sites online that lets you upload, tag, and share your video with the rest of the world, or just family and friends if you prefer.
Yes, the site's called youtube.com.
But then YouTube started sharing ad revenue with creators, and companies started paying creators to promote their products. And suddenly, being a YouTuber was an actual job. In fact, it didn't just become a job, it became the job. Countless studies have found that becoming a YouTuber is the most desired job in the world. Not astronaut, doctor, teacher, nope. 75% of kids want to become YouTubers. And when the mainstream media talks about this, it's normally in a dismissive way. You can sense them thinking, these kids need to go get real jobs. And that's because influencer has become a bit of a dirty word. To many people, an influencer represents talentless narcissists who film themselves for social media, fake their lives to look better than reality, and get paid ridiculously well to shill products for companies. And in some cases, there may be some truth in that. But an influencer can mean many things. Loads of influencers on social media are incredibly talented, creative people. Because the simplest definition of an influencer is just a person with the ability to influence potential buyers of a product or service. It's not really a new concept, we've always had celebrities who do that. The difference now is that anyone with a smartphone and a social media account has the potential to build an audience and influence people. It's open to everyone, which means more people than ever are making money from their passions and interests, whether it's gaming, music, art, cooking, sewing, anything. But here's where it gets really interesting. The old way of monetizing a social media audience was you make money advertising other businesses. If you're a creator, then company X comes along and pays you to advertise their product in your content. But now, content creators are starting to realize, well, what if I create my own business and advertise that instead? One of the most famous examples is Mr. Beast launching a burger chain that currently has over 1,000 kitchens across multiple different countries. Mr. Beast could have just partnered with McDonald's or Burger King and got paid a one-off sponsorship fee for promoting someone else's brand. But instead, he now keeps 100% of all future profits for himself, for life. And simultaneously, he's growing a company he's got equity in, that he could potentially sell later if he wanted. Another example is that Emma Chamberlain and Graham Stephan both launched their own coffee brands. Now, at first glance, this may just seem like next level merchandise, but it's not. These are separate standalone businesses that are simply being kickstarted by leveraging their attention on social media. Think about it. One of the biggest problems of normal new businesses is they just don't have the recognition or brand power to compete. If you started your own coffee brand right now, but you didn't have an audience to promote it to, you'd have to spend ridiculous amounts of money on marketing just to get anybody to even hear about it in the first place. And why would they care about this random new brand anyway? But if a YouTuber starts a business, they already have an established brand people love, and they already have a loyal audience to promote their products and services to, so they can get an influx of customers right from day one. Of course, this spans so much further than food and drink. We're gonna see gaming YouTubers build their own games companies, we're gonna see tech YouTubers building their own tech companies, and for channels like me in the business niche with a lot of entrepreneurs watching, I think a business-to-business software company would be an incredible fit. The possibilities are genuinely endless. But wait a minute, I know what you might be thinking. Dude, YouTubers might be good at making videos, but that doesn't mean they can just build a business. And you're right, but they don't need to. They just need strategic partnerships with people who can. Do you think Mr. Beast knew how to set up a burger chain all by himself? No, he hired a business manager to make these kind of deals, and they partnered with a company who helped set up and run Mr. Beast Burger. So I'm not suggesting YouTubers figured this all out themselves. I'm suggesting they partner with someone or some company to create a product or service together. Someone else can handle a lot of the logistics side, and the YouTuber can focus on the branding and marketing. For example, the YouTuber could show behind the scenes of running this new business and incorporate the products into their content to get their audience even more connected to this new brand. And because YouTubers know their audience so well and have a relationship with them, they can think about what products and services will fit best with their fans. Like with Mr. Beast Burger, the products are named after people on the channel, so it's much more fun for fans and actually makes you even more attached to the Mr. Beast brand in general. And you probably don't just buy from there once, you probably keep coming back for more and more as a repeat customer, which means you're regularly interacting with the brand in the physical world, not just the digital world. So here's the simple truth here. If you're making content yourself, or you ever plan to, don't just think of yourself as an influencer or a video maker. Start thinking of yourself as an entrepreneur, and a whole new world of possibilities will open. The crucial difference is that instead of doing a one-off sponsorship to promote someone else's brand, you can be building your own business that you have equity in. Thus, it can be way more profitable for you and way better for your fans as well. Okay, time for some calculations to prove this. Let's say you create a product that costs $5 each when you produce them in bulk. You sell it for $20 each, so $15 profit per item sold. If you had 1 million subscribers and just 2% of the audience buys it, that's 20,000 people, which equals $300,000 of profits. Now let's say the product is a recurring subscription that people pay for every month. Congratulations, you've now got a multi-million-dollar business on your hands. Of course, this can work for much smaller channels too, because the crazy part is it's not just the YouTuber's audience who can buy the product or service. Profits can be reinvested into other marketing to reach a whole new audience. And if it's a good product or service, people will tell their friends about it too. So this new business can eventually be its own thing, totally separate from the creator. For example, you don't ever have to have watched the Mr. Beast video to buy a Mr. Beast burger. If your friend was ordering one, you'd probably order one too. It's a standalone business in its own right. Now, even if you do partner with a company to help launch your own products and services, I'm obviously not saying this is easy, but I am saying there will definitely be a lot more private label companies looking to do joint ventures with creators. Because attention is the currency that matters most. If you have people watching you and your content, you can make a lot of money. It's that simple. But whereas before, that attention led to brand deals and sponsorships for other companies, now that attention is leading to new companies owned by the creators. For example, people love to hate on the Kardashians, the Paul brothers, but like it or not, they're very rich because they're masters of attention, and then directing that attention elsewhere. Whether it's selling expensive beauty products or pay-per-view boxing, if you have the attention on you, it's then just a case of where you direct it. And if you can match the right product or service to the right audience, that's where the big money is.
I honestly think we're not even at the beginning stages of creators building businesses.
But there's one final piece to this puzzle. You'll notice I've specifically mentioned YouTubers a lot. So what about TikTokers or Instagram stars? And yeah, it's true, these concepts apply to anyone with an audience and attention, but I do feel strongly YouTube has a lot more advantages. Firstly, videos can be evergreen on YouTube. Once you build your library of content, the algorithm can continue promoting them indefinitely. So if you promote your own product or service within a YouTube video, you can be getting new sales from videos you made months or even years ago. Seriously, I have a digital product I sell, which is my YouTube business blueprint for people who are looking to make more money with YouTube. And I've had sales of that product thanks to videos I made over a year ago. It had no new promotion from me, it's just the YouTube algorithm doing its thing. That just doesn't happen with TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. Posts are normally pretty dead within 48 hours. And that's why evergreen content on YouTube is so crucial, because it means you don't get stuck in the social media hamster wheel of constantly having to pump out new content. Secondly, with YouTube, you can build a much deeper connection with your audience since the videos are longer, and if people know, like, and trust you more, they're more likely to buy from you and your business. And finally, with YouTube, it's so much easier to promote things, as you can direct people to the description below the video, where you can have as many links as you want. So if you do have an audience on another platform, that's great, but consider bringing some of them over to YouTube. Because trust me, the creator economy is going to be a fascinating place over the next few years. People are finally starting to realize the potential of it, but this is really just the beginning. It's definitely not too late to start. And then once you have built an audience, create your own products and services. That way, you don't just build a YouTube channel, you start building your empire. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Before you focus on making money, how do you actually make great videos and build an audience? And the answer to that is today's video sponsor, Skillshare, an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creators. There's a variety of classes from famous YouTubers teaching their own methods, but if you want to do documentary style videos with motion graphics, I recommend Evan Abrams' Introduction to Adobe After Effects, which will show you all the basics to get started. And because Skillshare is curated for learning, there's no ads, and lots of new premium classes added all the time. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So click the link below now to get started for free and start exploring your creativity today. I hope this... Number 1. I made a video about Evan Carmichael, who has around 3 million subscribers on YouTube. And he not only commented on the video, he very briefly ran ads to it promoting the video. Number 2. Jordan Belfort, The Real Wolf of Wall Street, and Noah Kagan both paid me $500 each for creating a YouTube video that was under 60 seconds long as part of a competition. Number 3. I made a video on business lessons from the movie War Dogs, and the real-life guy that the film was based on actually commented on it. And yes, I did check it was really him. He even went on to confirm that some of the crazier parts of the movie that I'd referenced were indeed true. Number 4. I got my first paying client from YouTube for $1,000 when I had less than 1,000 subscribers, which I really think just proves the importance of quality over quantity. Number 5. I've had a surprisingly high amount of traffic from colleges and teaching platforms, which indicates there are some teachers who are literally showing my videos to students in their lessons. Speaking of which, number 6. I've been told by a student that they wrote a university essay on organizational behavior using my video on Michael Scott from The Office as a case study. I hope they passed. Number 7. Someone re-uploaded one of my YouTube videos in its entirety with no edits, but somehow managed to misspell the title, including the word success, ironically. Number 8. This channel has led to me having some amazing phone calls with creators I hugely admire, like Charlie from Charisma on Command, James Janney, and honestly loads more. It's crazy how many doors YouTube opens. Number 9. I've also had many thousands of thankful comments from total strangers, along with many of them sharing my videos on other sites, like people posting them on Reddit, and one of them even got to the top of our documentaries. And look, I don't want to turn this video into something too cheesy here, but honestly, some of the heartfelt comments and emails I've received about how certain videos have helped people is just amazing to hear. When someone says they got great results from a video of yours, or that it changed their life or inspired them in some way, that's a pretty special feeling. However, number 10, of course, not all the emails are just dishing out praise. One of my favorites was a 14-year-old randomly asking out the blue if I'd buy him a free laptop, since I make all that YouTube money. Number 11. I've also received comments in many languages I don't speak. I always thank them, even though the comments could be horrendous abuse for all that I know. Number 12. I made a video on a YouTuber I used to watch called Clark Kegley, back when he was more into business content. And the video was about 4 YouTube lessons that I'd learned from him. So he commented on my video saying, "Lesson 5, get your mum to watch all your videos." But again, this idea of creators you feel you know so well actually watching one of your videos and commenting on them is a weird but great feeling. And by the way, clearly the pattern here is if you want to connect with someone, make a video on them. They'll probably check it out and reply. In fact, now I think about it, someone literally did this with me, and it worked. They posted a video that was personalized to me with my name in the title and sent me a link, and of course I checked it out, listened to what they had to say, and replied to them. Number 13. My university wrote an article on me, which basically encouraged people to start a YouTube channel and start considering how to make passive income, especially online. Which, considering universities typically are very heavy on pushing people to graduate schemes and traditional 9-to-5 jobs, I was really pleased with this. Number 14. The amount of connections YouTube has led me to is kind of unreal. Firstly, people I know who I haven't spoken to in years messaged out the blue saying that they liked certain videos. In fact, I even had 2 old friends who didn't know I was doing YouTube, but one of them got suggested one of my videos, and another saw a comment of mine on a totally separate video, and so they found my channel organically. Small world. But then there's also been so many new people I've got to know directly through YouTube and this community, many of which I would genuinely consider friends. Honestly though, there's so many other unexpected opportunities YouTube has led to, so many meetings, deals, connections, even things like big companies reaching out randomly to discuss sponsorship deals. It's not something I expected to happen at this stage. YouTube has also led to me developing a bunch of new skills and even becoming really fascinated with videography and cinematography, which I had no real interest in before. I mean, even though I'm still a total amateur with that stuff in the grand scheme of things, making videos has changed how I see things like films now. I notice details about the way they're shot that I was so oblivious to before. But finally, and most notably of all, number 15 of the weirdest things that have happened since starting a YouTube channel is that it led to me creating an entire business using YouTube. Now, to say that YouTube changed my life is probably the craziest part of all of this, especially because the channel isn't that big, at least not yet, but it's true. I've been able to build a business around YouTube that I'm doing full time, and so I'm incredibly glad I took that first step of making that first awkward video, because so much has come from that. And truthfully, I never really bought into the whole, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life, that whole thing. But at least so far, this really has been a lot of fun. I'm not saying it's all sunshine and rainbows, but I'm really happy with how things are going right now, and I'm confident there'll be many more weird and wonderful things along the way. But wait a second, there is a point to all of this, because the one thing I haven't yet mentioned is my biggest regret with YouTube, which is that I put it off for well over a year before committing to it. Seriously, I sat there with an idea for a channel for over 365 days, just watching others be successful, whilst making excuses why I couldn't do it, and why the time wasn't right. And look, if you don't like the idea of doing YouTube, that's fair enough. I'm not saying it's for everyone. But if you do like the idea, then please don't do yourself the same disservice I did. YouTube growth is exponential, not linear. And I have videos I made well over a year ago, still bringing in views and ad revenue and clients even to this day. So the point is, if you're on the fence about starting or committing more time to your channel, hopefully this nudges you in the right direction. And soon you'll be making a video about all the weird and interesting things that have happened to you along the way so far. But if you are interested in building a business with YouTube or even growing an existing online business using YouTube, then you may have already heard me mention the YouTube Magnates course, our YouTube business blueprint to help you build over 10 different income streams from scratch whilst being able to do something you genuinely enjoy and look forward to, all thanks to YouTube. And even if you already have a business, the system can work great for you too, because it's all about growing your brand so you can charge higher prices and start bringing in pre-qualified clients or customers right to you who already want to work with you. The reason I know this works is because it's what I use myself and so many others who approach YouTube like a magnate or an entrepreneur and not just a YouTuber. So, if you're at all intrigued by this, check out the top link in the description for all the details, or feel free to drop me an email with any questions at all. For now though, all that's left to say is thank you for your support, it really does mean a lot. And if you're not yet subscribed, well, to be honest, if you're here at this point, you probably already are. But if not, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell, and I'll see you in the next video very soon. Thanks again, cheers.
Okay, so guys, that's the end of the video. As you can see, that's the end, and I think you have learned a lot from that video. You have learned a lot from that video, okay? Because you have tried your best and you have talked about a lot of things that you need to know. And guys, so my proper confirmation, YouTube is really paying, okay? And you can be a millionaire, you can turn a millionaire on YouTube. You can be a millionaire from YouTube. So I encourage all of you who are ready to okay, so I encourage all of you to click on the link in the description box below. What that will do is that will add you to my WhatsApp group and you'll be able to create a YouTube channel. Don't worry about the videos, because I'm going to give you a video that you will be posting every day, and guys, you're going to make a lot of money. All that you need to do is click on the link, join my WhatsApp group, chat me, and just let me know that you're ready to create a channel, you're ready to make money online, and it's a passive income, guys. You'll be making this money every month. Every month you'll be making this money. So I encourage each one of you watching this video to try your possible best and try and get a YouTube channel and also make a lot of money online, okay? No YouTuber is going to tell you this, no YouTuber is going to advise you on this. So I think this is the final video of my tutorial. I've done part 2, part 1 of the video, and this is the full tutorial. This is the final tutorial. So in case that you have not watched those parts, it will be in the description box below. See you in my next video, and I'm out.